Houston Astros look to continue their winning streak this afternoon from Fenway Park in Boston, where the Astros won 6-3 in a thrilling game last night. Astros fans celebrated that victory as they have been all throughout the city of Boston enjoying the weekend series between the top two teams in the AL East and AL West. The Astros currently 3.5 in front in the division. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Game 2 of this 3-game series between two teams that could see each other again next month. And Blummer, last night was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Really had that playoff atmosphere going. It was great pitching to start out between Garrett Cole and David Price, both matching up, only giving up 2 runs apiece. Then eventually it turned into a bullpen game. But what we like to see from Garrett Cole is a high velocity, touching almost 100 miles an hour, and that great slider came back for him, getting a couple of strikeouts. But it was late in the ball game after David Price left that the bullpen started to give it up for the Boston Red Sox. Some big hits late. We know the Astros are very good from that 7th inning on. And the big number for me, again, I talk about it all the time, runners in scoring position. Last night, the Astros 4 for 8, Red Sox 1 for 9.
Tyler White contributed with a base hit to make it a 6-3 game, as the Astros would score 3 in the 7th and 3 in the 8th to win last night 6-3. Our best in Texas power pitchers brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Today's starter, Charlie Morton.
It's good to see Charlie back out there, fresh off that 10-day DL. A little time to rest that arm. We know they are trying to push him back a little bit. He is reaching a innings pitched top for his career, so they're going to try and push back a couple of innings, give him some time to rest, get him ready for the postseason. But it should be a nice start for him back here in Fenway Park with that power fastball curveball mix. You can see the numbers last September. Very good for Charlie going into the postseason.
Astros will face another left-hander today, Eduardo Rodriguez. When we come back, Julia Morales will tell us how the Astros finished 2017 strong and are hoping to do the same again this year. overcast but comfortable as the Astros get ready to take on the Boston Red Sox in the middle game of a 3-game series. Here's the Astros starting lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. A little bit of a wrinkle in the lineup in that Yuli Gurriel moves ahead of Carlos Correa into the cleanup spot. Yuli looked very good last night and continues to hit well against lefties. Tyler White back in there at DH hitting 6. Jake Marisnick gets his second straight start. Martin Maldonado behind the plate. And Tony Kemp bats ninth in left field.
Left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez on the bump today for the Boston Red Sox. Another left-handed pitcher, very similar to David Price, just in the sense that he throws in the around 93 miles an hour with that fastball. Does have a cut fastball. He spent some time on the DL with an ankle sprain, but came back for his last start against the Chicago White Sox, went 5 2/3 innings and looked great in striking out 12 of those White Sox.
Yeah, really threw a lot of fastballs in that start. More so than we normally see from him. 70% fastballs. We'll see how he attacks the Astros on this day as we're ready for baseball. Glad he could join us for another day of Astros baseball as we wind down the season, wrapping up 3 weeks from tomorrow. And Rodriguez misses with that fastball to George Springer to start this game. Astros trailed last night for most of the game. They were down 2-0 heading into the 7th before a big 3-run rally in the 7th. Boston would tie the game up in the bottom of the 7th, and the Astros put 3 more on the board in the 8th, and George Springer was a part of those late heroics. He had a couple of hits late in the 8th and 9th inning. Two-0 pitch is fouled back. Astros have seen Rodriguez before. It's been here at Fenway Park for both starts against the Astros in his career. Also appeared out of the bullpen against them in the postseason, but they knocked him out last year at the end of 2017 after an inning and 2/3. David Rackley behind the plate calling balls and strikes today. Calls that one a strike on the edge, and George has a 2-2 count.
MD Anderson strike zone. Shows you where that 4th pitch was, off that outside corner, and George knows it was off the outside corner. Just hope that that is a consistent part of the zone that they will give to Charlie Morton when he's out there.
Rackley behind the plate, Quinn Wolcott at first. The new crew chief for this series is at second base, Paul Nart. Ryan O'Nora, who was knocked out of the game last night, getting the rest of this series off. So Nart is now the crew chief, and James Hoy over at third after calling balls and strikes last night from the 2nd inning on. 3-2 pitch is a called 3rd strike. George didn't like the 2nd or 3rd called strike, and he's a little frustrated heading back to the dugout.
That 4th pitch was the 2nd strike. This one on the inside corner, just nipping the edge at 96 from Rodriguez.
Here's Jose Altuve. Altuve in his 16th game back, coming off the DL. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Jose continues to lead all of baseball with that .353 road batting average. Altuve ended up going 1 for 5 in last night's game. .25-year-old left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez. Ahead of Altuve, 1-2. Rodriguez in that start last year against the Astros, inning and 2/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. A bases clearing double by Marwin Gonzalez and a 2-run home run by Alex Bregman. The key blows in that game. Altuve down on strikes. Rodriguez strikes out the first 2 he faces today. Defensively behind Eduardo Rodriguez today, Andrew Benintendi leads all of baseball with 11 outfield assists. Jackie Bradley Jr. is in center. Mookie Betts is in right. Rafael Devers gets a start today at third base alongside Xander Bogaerts, Ian Kinsler, and Mitch Moreland on the right side, and Christian Vasquez behind the plate. Here's Alex Bregman. Bregman reaching 3 more times in last night's game. A walk, a double, a single, a couple of runs scored. Takes a called strike. Has that average up to an even 300 to go along with all the other numbers. 1 home run shy of 30, 4 RBI shy of 100, 3 runs scored shy of 100, 2 doubles shy of 50. He's putting together not only the best season for the Astros this year, but a season that will rank up amongst one of the great seasons of all time in Houston Astros history. There's a line drive into the shift, caught by the second baseman, Ian Kinsler. Bregman hit it hard, but he's the last out of the inning. There's no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Arctic, overbuilt, not overpriced. Fenway Park on a Saturday afternoon, late afternoon baseball here in Boston. And here's how the Red Sox line things up. Mookie Betts leading all of the major leagues with that .339 batting average, followed by Andrew Benintendi. JD Martinez added a couple of RBIs to his big league leading totals. Xander Bogaerts, Mitch Moreland, Ian Kinsler, Rafael Devers, Christian Vasquez, and Jackie Bradley Jr.
Charlie Morton back on the mound for the Houston Astros. Brief stint on the DL. We saw Josh James and Framber Valdez pick up a couple of starts in his place. But on the season, a great winning percentage at 13-3, 152 innings pitched, 185 strikeouts. He is 15 strikeouts away from 200, trying to join Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander at that 200-plus mark.
Like Garrett Cole, with every strikeout, he sets a new career mark as he starts out Mookie Betts with a strike. Charlie spending the minimum requirement on the DL, working with 10 days rest as he pitches against the Red Sox this afternoon. And the first 2 pitches to the very talented Mookie Betts are called strikes right on the edge. So Charlie quickly ahead. Mookie reached base 4 times in last night's game. That is the 17th time this season that he's been on base at least 4 times.
It's exhausting.
And he has been an incredible table setter for this Boston Red Sox powerful lineup that leads all of baseball in runs scored, batting average, averaging over 5.4 runs per game. Top three in the batting race all get to bat in the first inning of this matchup. Mookie leads the American League at 339. JD Martinez coming in at 335. Jose Altuve at 317. Foul ball up our way and just above us. You were ready.
Got to be here. We are right on top of the field.
Another 3 feet lower, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, I've gotten peppered in here a couple times in years past, ricocheting all over the place.
So no catches.
No.
That one below us on the 3-2 foul.
That's one thing I found in the booth with the foul balls. It's a tough angle. Kind of elevated. I'm used to the ball coming down to me, not up to me.
There you go.
Unfortunately, in this ballpark particularly, there's TK standing up.
I'm ready. This ball sent towards left. Tony Kemp will play it on a hop as Mookie Betts on base yet again. 5th time on base in this series. We're only an inning into game 2. Well, sometimes a defensive shift happens late in an at-bat.
Yeah, and this is the pitch right before Alex Bregman lines out. You see Ian Kinsler maybe taking a nap early on, but moved over in the perfect spot to catch that line drive off the bat of Alex Bregman, and he's got a little bit of a chuckle about it.
How tough it is. He just gets to 300, and then he hits a bullet, and Kinsler, who was out of position initially, was right in the right spot to make that play. Andrew Benintendi fouls one away. Benintendi consistently hit the ball hard to left field last night. In 4 of his 5 at-bats, sprayed the ball to left, only had 1 hit to show for it. Tony Kemp better be alive out there, as he really was working that opposite field swing in last night's game. Down and in. 1-1. Martin Maldonado behind the plate for the 2nd straight game. Mentioned how much he can cut down on a running game in the Boston Red Sox. 2nd in the AL in stolen bases.
He made easy work of Benintendi last night on a strike him out, throw him out double play, throwing him out by a good 10-12 feet.
Mookie Betts already with 27 steals on the season. And it's his career best. There's a ball into left field for a base hit. Benintendi and Betts exactly as the game started yesterday, although this time Betts doesn't go first to 3rd. But back-to-back hits to start this game.
As you enjoy a cold one, look forward to the Miller Lite Hold True moment later in tonight's game.
First 4 times to the plate in last night's game, JD Martinez batted with at least 2 runners on, and he'll do it again today to start this game. He has seen a lot of traffic out there. Ended up driving in 2 runs with a sac fly in the 1st and a base hit in the 7th to tie the game. Charlie misses down and away. It's 1-0.
It's his 280th plate appearance with runners on. It's quite a bit.
Wow.
And that's credit to Mookie Betts and Andrew Benintendi.
Their top 4 all having incredible years as JD sends one to center. Jake will go back on it. Mookie will tag at 2nd and head to 3rd. As Jake gets the ball back in, 1st and 3rd with 1 out after the fly out to center.
He'll take it, especially if your nickname is Ground Chuck. keeping Benintendi at first base keeps that double play in order after the fly out of JD. Be a tough guy to double up in Bogarts.
Bogarts already with those 90 runs batted in, which is his career best. Last night hitting his 20th home run of the season. That is one off his career high that he set back in 2015. Charlie has been throughout his career a big ground ball guy. He has, since he's joined the Astros, seen a little more of the fly ball than his percentage of the pass, but he gets a ground ball here, but he sneaks through past the diving Altuve, and the Red Sox start the game with a 1-0 lead on the RBI by Bogarts, his 91st run batted in of the year.
He doesn't get talked about much because of the guy in front of him, and JD Martinez, but not trying to do too much with a fastball right down the middle at 97. Just inside outs it and puts it past Altuve, who's playing him a little bit to pull to get that first run on the board. Quietly with 91 RBIs.
Exactly. He would be a star on most teams. And he's a star on this team, but he's not the headliner. 91 ribbies would be leading a lot of teams. Instead, he's third or second on his own team. Here's Mitch Moreland. Charlie allowing 3 hits in the first inning. This is unusual for Charlie Morton. He usually can get through that lineup the first time in pretty good fashion. That ball's into right center field. Coming on Springer. Diving attempt, and he makes the catch. Tries to double up Benintendi. A little high on the throw, but George, the great catch to Rob Moreland.
Superfly Springer. So tough to get a read sometimes. It's a big swing from Mitch Moreland. You could see George making the adjustment and having that closing speed and laying out. Over boogied a little bit on that throw in, but a great play.
So big out for Charlie, who had allowed 3 hits in the inning, and now he'll face Ian Kinsler. Kinsler's been hot lately. His last 4 games has a 4-game hitting streak, 5 for 13. 378 in his last 10.
Matches from Supermo really gives you an idea of how good a play that was by George. Laying out. Well-timed tumble, too.
Broken bat. Bregman cuts it off. His throw in time to get Kinsler, and Charlie works through some trouble in the first. The Red Sox score 1 and lead it.
every single game they played in the month of September. When the calendar turned, these Astros really turned it on. As when Verlander said, we have the ability to do that. Where have we seen that before? 1 year ago. Check out the record in September and October. There was one win in October, just one game, but 27-8. That offense averaging 5.6 runs per game last year. The starters' ERA was 3.29. The starters this time around, and here in 2018, they've been better than that. Some great performances to combine for a 2.31 ERA in those games. And guys, the most exciting thing about all of this is talking to several players. They know that offense has been inconsistent, and they're looking for it to click on all cylinders here pretty soon. That could be pretty dangerous down the stretch, DK.
Yeah, the pretty dangerous line drive there off the bat of Yuli. Just missed the left field foul line, and that's strike one. But Yuli bidding for an extra base hit here, batting in the 4 spot ahead of Carlos Correa. Well, you've seen Yuli bat cleanup this year, just have not seen this order with Correa behind him, and AJ likes what Yuli can do against left-hand pitching. Called strike, and Eduardo Rodriguez ahead 0-2. Yuli with some good at-bats last night, ended up going 2 for 4. Drove in a run in the 7th inning with a double off the monster. All third strike. Rodriguez has struck out 3 of the 4 batters he has faced.
Aggressive with a firm fastball in the inside corner for a couple of those strikeouts too.
It's now 15 strikeouts in his last 7 innings of work. Since coming off the DL, he has been pretty impressive. Here's Carlos Correa, batting 5th for the first time this year. Carlos drove in the go-ahead run last night on the sacrifice fly.
Two-seam fastball out of the hand of Rodriguez, catching that inside corner, locking up Yuli.
Carlos with a 1-1 count. Ball's hit to left field. Going back on it is Benintendi. It's over his head and off the wall. Carlos Correa digging for second, and he will get there. Correa, a stand-up double.
Benintendi thought he had a beat on this, but Carlos Correa brings the hands in so nicely. That's what that little bit of lag in the barrel can do a little bit. If you square that thing up, it'll actually inside out away from Benintendi, and that's exactly what happened to get off the monster. Hopefully a sign of things to come. We talked about the success that Carlos Correa has had here in Fenway Park, the struggles he's had coming into this place. Hopefully it starts to shift a little bit.
Here's Tyler White. Astros with their first base runner of the day.
Another two-seam release, trying to get inside. Carlos's hands come in early, and then that barrel. And it's that top hand that creates all that power coming through the zone right there. That was beautifully done by Carlos. It's good to see him getting to an inside fastball too.
White sends one to center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. all the way back. It's off his glove and off the wall. Carlos will score easily. Tyler White heading to third. The great white shark with a triple, and the Astros have tied the game.
We could check that off the list of things that Tyler White was trying to do this season. Now he's got that triple. That is center cut, barreled up, launched to center field. You got to give Jackie Bradley credit for giving it a pretty good effort. It looks like it got off his glove, but in doing so, ricochets to his left into that triples alley, and that's where Tyler White ends up on third base.
Now Jake Marisnick swings and pops one up. Infield comes in on Jake with one out and a runner on third.
Tyler White just chewing on big league pitching here in the last couple of months. Matches from Supermo gives you an idea how close Jackie Bradley actually got to that. I didn't think he had a chance. That was a great effort.
Now Jake down in the count, 0-2. You know he's tied for the team lead in triples now with Marwin.
2, 3.
Not a lot. Nobody really has a lot of triples on this team, but at the beginning of the spring, if you had Tyler White in the leading the Astros in triples pool, you are.
Well, in triples per AB or per plate appearance too.
Yeah. Jake sends one to center field. This will be deep enough. Tyler's going to tag up. Jackie Bradley Jr. will fire way wide. Had relatively no chance. Nice job by Jake down in the count to give the Astros a 2-1 lead.
No, I'm with you. That was a very good AB by Jake Marisnick. He looked a little lost yesterday after a couple of days off since being recalled. But here in a 2-strike count, after getting a couple of fastballs up and in, gets a cutter away and stays through it up the middle to drive in Tyler White. You got to be careful with Jackie Bradley out there. He has got an absolute cannon of an arm, too.
So the Astros, just like last night, give up a first-inning run, and today they come back a little quicker than they did last night. They take the lead in the very next inning. Here's Martin Maldonado. Maldonado sends one down the line and right, but this one's drifting foul. Eduardo Rodriguez, his 2 starts against the Astros, one very good one back in 2015. And last year giving up 5 earned runs in an inning and 2/3. And 25-year-old coming into today had a 10.8 ERA, 10.80 ERA against the Astros in 3 games, including the postseason last year. Now it's in, it's 1-1. In this inning alone, Rodriguez has allowed more runs than he did in the previous 33 and 2/3 innings. That's combined with his AA rehab in Portland for 8 innings, but 25 and 2/3 here at Boston with 1 run allowed, going back to before he was on the DL. You can hear that.
Just enjoy it for a little bit. It's nice.
This is Fenway Park. Stunning to hear this at Fenway Park. Let's go Astros resonates throughout the ballpark for the 2nd straight game.
Yeah, there is a strong contingent throughout the entire ballpark, but really up in left field. On the upper deck, there it looks to be an entire section of Astro fans.
Plummer, we can't go more than a block without seeing a group of Astros, and that's not an exaggeration.
No, not at all.
You cannot walk anywhere in the city of Boston this weekend for more than a block without seeing an Astros fan. It's that much. I mean, it's that prevalent. A lot of them are here for the Texans game as well.
Yeah, but it's just brilliant planning by Houston fans. You see this on the calendar, you say, yes, I'm going to Boston. I'm going to represent the Astros, and then I'm going to represent the Texans. I don't care how they got here or why they got here. They're here.
We were talking to one of their TV guys, Dave O'Brien, earlier before the game, and he said even when the Yankees are in town, we never hear it like this, that the Astros fans were representing more than any other visiting team ever has.
That's an amazing statement, because that is a huge rivalry in baseball.
And he did say part of it is the fact that they play 3 times a year. So the fact that the Astros only come once kind of condenses the fans into one series. But still, to say that with that rivalry that the Astros fans, out-cheer the Yankees fans when they come here. And Garrett Cole, who started last night, certainly realized that as well with all that support.
I was talking to the guy at the hotel, and he was like, oh my gosh, I was over at the park earlier, and you guys have so many fans. I've never seen anything like this. Like, the Yankees don't even pull this many guys. Well, I mean, the Red Sox don't let the Yankees come in here, but I mean, he was impressed. So, he dropped, I've been working here for 15 years kind of thing. So, I mean, I guess it's a pretty big deal when, there's a lot of Houston fans here. So it was great to have the support, especially around the bullpen, especially around the dugout.
So Garrett Cole, the rest of the team, that was kind of a topic last night after the game. It was also brought up again today in A.J. Hinch's media session. When the Yankees fans come here, or when teams on the East Coast come here, it's a quick trip. These Houston fans, it's not an easy trip from Houston to Boston. You're making a commitment.
These guys are worth it.
Well, Tony Kemp had one of the biggest hits in last night's game with a pinch hit double. This time he pops one in the air to left. Benintendi drifts to the line, and that ball goes into foul territory. Benintendi thought he was going to have a play on it for most of the time that ball was in the air.
Some more fans outside the ballpark. We actually heard some rumblings of what sounded like a football game while we were getting ready for the game today, and I think it might have been those fans right there. We were shocked. But on that last fly ball, I don't know about you, but I thought it was right to Benintendi.
He did too, and I'm looking at the flag in center field. It's barely moving. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's one thing playing here in Fenway, is that as a fielder, you watch the flags that are directly above the press box, above us. Because this is one of those older stadiums that isn't fully enclosed, and that's the flag you're watching right there. So you can see on that flag, it's blowing into those left field seats. Because Fenway is a much more compact stadium and doesn't really fill out and go all the way to those 3rd and 4th levels that we see some of the stadiums these days. So fly balls easily can get caught in that jet stream.
And Kemp hits a line drive to right. That's going to be down for a base hit. Tony Kemp with the pinch double last night to drive in 2, and he starts this game with a base hit. 3 hits and a walk this inning for the Astros.
Big AB yesterday. Josh Reddick struggled against David Price, so Kemp earns his right into the lineup to play left field today against the left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez, and does a very good job. Cut fastball, stays on it, gets the barrel out in front of it, and yanks it into right field. There's a good AB. But again, you know what else is great too is that understanding that a couple of foul balls and the base hit last night going the other way, it really seems that he's trying to get the hands in early and go inside out, but still has the ability to get the barrel out in front and turn on it. This is last night in a 2-strike count. Pitch inside, boring in on the hands, but he pulled his hands in so nicely and inside out of that the other way.
That gave the Astros a 3-2 lead after they had not done anything offensively leading into that inning. Here's George Springer batting with 2 on and 2 outs. This inning started for the Astros with a double by Carlos Correa off the wall and left. Tyler White tripled off the wall in center. A sac fly by Jake Marisnick. Maldonado drew a walk, and Tony Kemp with a single. So the Astros have a double, a triple, and a single in this inning. Can George complete the cycle?
That'd be awesome.
Fly ball hit relatively deep to right. Mookie Betts back. He'll have a play, and he puts it away. The wind blowing from right to left. We saw it earlier in the inning. May have helped knock that down.
Should the Cy Young Award have an innings requirement for starters? If you think 200 innings should be that limit, you vote A. If you think 180 innings should be the minimum, vote B. If you don't think there should be a requirement for starters, go ahead and vote C. It's an interesting question because Chris Sale having a great year, stuck on 146 innings pitched, while a couple of other guys in the ballpark getting close to that 200 inning threshold. But make sure you go to AT&T Sportsnet SW and vote.
Rafael Devers leads off for the Red Sox in the second inning. Devers, Christian Vasquez, Jackie Bradley Jr., 7, 8, and 9 in the Red Sox lineup. Devers sends one high in the air to left field. Tony Kemp is there and puts it away for out number 1.
So Chris Sale is on the DL, and I talked about the 146 innings at 23 starts. If you move back Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander to those 26 starts, see how they match up against some of the dominance that we've seen from Chris Sale this season. 219 strikeouts. Garrett Cole actually 12 ahead of Justin Verlander at that starting point of 23 games at 202. With some very similar numbers as far as opponent batting average against and innings pitched.
Sale's going to pitch here on Tuesday against Toronto. He will be limited to 2 innings or 40 pitches in that outing, whichever comes first. He did warm up earlier today, got his last bullpen session in before his next start, and he's basically going to get about 4 more starts, building up each time into their postseason. We're talking about a guy who's going to end up right around the minimum number of innings needed for qualification for an ERA title. He's going to end up right around 160, 165, somewhere in that range. And you need 162 to qualify for an ERA title. Today's stroke poll involving innings pitched. There's never been an American League starter who's won a Cy Young with less than 200 innings in the season over a full season. Strike shortened years don't count, but over a full season, there's never been a starter who's won a Cy Young with less than 200. Only one in the National League, and that was Kershaw with 198.
In all the history of baseball, if you take out the strike shortened seasons, only one has won a Cy Young less than 200. It was 198 and 2/3 or 108.
1 or 2/3, yeah. Less than 2 innings away from 200.
But that's saying something that, you know, the voters in that category actually take that into account.
Charlie Morton picks up his first strikeout, getting Vasquez for the second out.
And it's unfortunate for Chris Sale because the numbers are there. Those are Cy Young numbers, no doubt. But it's about getting through an entire big league season. But we know why he's being carefully looked after here in September. September is by far his worst month as far as ERA is concerned. And then we saw last year what happened in the postseason. The Astros got to him in that division series. So I think that the Boston Red Sox are a little more concerned about getting him to that postseason and making sure that he's right to help them in the playoffs.
I think there's some similarities between Sale and the guy on the mound today with the Astros too.
Good call.
In that the Astros limited Charlie here, not letting him pitch for the last 10 days. They want him to be at his best going into the postseason. He's a guy who's never made 30 starts. He's never gone more than 171 2/3 innings. And whether it's a physical or mental or combination hurdle, Charlie needs to feel as good as he possibly can physically and mentally going into October.
It's just a really interesting conversation as far as that Cy Young is concerned because the numbers are so good for Chris Sale except for the innings pitched. And you know, you got to wonder if September would have brought him back to the pack a little bit as far as some of the ERA numbers and opponent batting average.
Even last year with Charlie pitching ALDS, ALCS, and the World Series, he ended up at 170 innings. 146 in the regular season. 146 2/3 to be exact, and then 13 1/3. Excuse me, 23 1/3 in the postseason. we'll see. It should be an interesting vote down the stretch. Blake Snell's certainly making a push lately for Tampa Bay. Verlander and Cole are in the conversation. Corey Kluber's in the conversation. I think Luis Severino's second half has kind of taken him out of the picture there. And then you've got Chris Sale. Could also put together a case for either Blake Treinen or Edwin Diaz, but it's rare for a reliever to win Cy Young unless he is that much more dominant than the next pitcher. And this year there's two guys that are having incredible seasons as closers just within the Astros division.
It's good stuff.
We'll see Verlander on Monday against his former team. You know he'll be amped up for that one. 3-2 pitch high in the air to center field, sending Jake back. He has it on the track and puts it away for the final out. 1-2-3 inning for Charlie in the second. Astros lead 2-1. Cimarron Elementary putting together their dugout stair challenges throughout the school. Teachers, students
Getting it.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
we have seen so many schools and hospitals and police departments and TV anchor crews, and wow, that's a good one right there.
And again, you know, last year was Hurricane Harvey, and under tragedy, it brought the community together. Now, under some better circumstances and a little more joy, we're getting a stare down everybody in Houston. I like it.
Yeah, it's great, and can't wait for Bregman's next home run because he had something planned for number 29 that didn't work out so well. So we'll have to wait for number 30 to get the new celebration as Jose Altuve leads off. Well, we appreciate everybody back home who's not here representing the Astros at Fenway, that have been watching us on AT&T Sportsnet SW. We know that the numbers have been phenomenal, and we couldn't be happier to just be a small conduit for you to enjoy your Astros baseball team, and we certainly appreciate your support for us.
Absolutely. It has been a lot of fun.
It's a team that is easy to fall in love with, led by this guy at the plate here. I mean, if you enjoy baseball, you enjoy underdogs, and you enjoy somebody who plays the game with a passion, Jose Altuve is probably going to be your favorite player. One pitch is down and in. It's 3-1. We were talking before the break about how George hit that ball pretty well to right field, and a fly ball that was caught on the track by Mookie Betts. Altuve's sons went on a line to center field, but that's going to hang up for Jackie Bradley Jr.
League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. Alex Bregman and all the damage he has been doing throughout the course of the season. He's been doing very good, having a good friend back in that lineup in Jose Altuve. Since Jose has been back in this lineup, Alex has been tearing the cover off the baseball with 19 RBIs and 16 runs scored. All leaders in all categories for the Astros. And the Astros in that time, 13-3.
You did a little research on Baseball Savant.
Yeah, George hit that baseball going the other way. 103 miles an hour off the bat, 33-degree launch angle. The batting average on that alone is .698.
And a home run percentage of 67%.
Yeah, so that we were just talking about how the wind pushing baseballs towards that left field line. And I think that George may have, hey.
Alex deep to left field. Number 30 is off the top of the monster. Alex Bregman in Boston hits his 30th of the season. And the Astros lead 3-1. No wind was going to stop that drive.
Gosh, no, that ball was punished.
Bregman last night with 3 hits. Reached 3 times. A couple of hits. His 3rd hit of this series is a home run.
My goodness.
Oh, yes. Winter Olympics are back for the celebration. Here's Yuli. Yuli lines one into center field, coming on Bradley Jr. He'll play it on a hop. Astros hitting the ball hard consistently against Eduardo Rodriguez. Yuli, a 1-out base runner.
Slow down that swing of Alex Bregman, missing his spot, throwing a fastball middle in, and wow. That is about as quick as anybody in the league right now as far as getting quickly to the baseball and then launching through it. There was no doubt about that home run from Alex Bregman. 101.6 off the bat, 35-degree launch angle, estimated 376.
Here's Carlos Correa taking a called strike. One and one to count to Correa. And a called strike. It's 1-2. Carlos hit a ball off the wall his first time up. Ended up scoring the first run of the game on a Tyler White triple. Only out of this inning was a line drive by Jose Altuve, caught in center field.
Yeah, that ball was well struck too.
And some high exit velocities this inning. Altuve's line out actually hotter off the bat than the Bregman home run.
Alex Bregman. My gosh.
Way off the top of the National Car Rental sign. That's the only thing that kept him in the stadium. It would have been across the street. Astros making a statement, coming from behind last night to win 6-3 and now out to an early 3-1 start. Bullpen action going for Boston right now in this 3rd inning. Right before the Bregman swing, we were talking about the Springer out for the last out of the 2nd inning, but the only time he was recorded, that ball would have been recorded as an out, was to straightaway center field on the grid you showed me on Baseball Savant.
Yeah. No, George hit that ball well. That's, I mean, for a guy who's struggling a little bit to drive the baseball, George had to feel good off the bat and then just got beat down by the wind.
Well, we started to see Carlos last night. We started to like some of those swings better, and then it doubled his first time up. We'll see if this is the series that gets him turned around.
Well, I like that last swing. Coming to the inside corner with 94, and he turned on it with authority.
And sometimes, you know, guys react differently, but sometimes day in, day out, you go in, you see your name in the same spot in the lineup all the time, you get used to it, and then you go in one day and you're not in that same spot, kind of like, okay.
Yeah, it was the other way for me, because usually it had to move up, because if it kept going down, it was in the extras. Yeah, but Alex, I mean, Carlos a little bit different, moving down into that fifth spot. Not a bad spot to be in this lineup.
Nope. This time he strikes out after double his first time up. And that is the second out of the inning. Fourth strikeout for Rodriguez.
And I know he chased up out of the zone, but I like the fact that he's at least making attempts with 2 strikes. Some of those called third strikes, even though they're on the edges, you like to see a little more protection. Give yourself a chance.
Here's the team leader in triples. Tyler White with his 3rd triple of the year, his first time up. Matching Marwin Gonzalez for the team lead.
What is it with beards and triples?
I was just thinking.
Evan Gaddis a couple of years ago with 11.
I was just thinking I should now believe that Evan had 11 once, because I've seen Tyler have 3 in like a month. This one is popped up, headed towards the Red Sox dugout and into the Red Sox dugout. Tyler down 0-2. But I really, you know, not just because he only had 1 hit in 19 at-bats against the Red Sox, but I was really curious how he would fare here in this series against Boston. This is the highest profile series he's played in as a regular. And big hit last night to drive in a run, and a big triple today to be part of that 2-run inning right in the middle of it.
Well, leading up to that big hit that he got later in the ball game, he looked a little intimidated by the moment and the situation. Then he got that big hit, and I think that really kind of took the edge off for Tyler White.
There has never been an Astros series in their history in the month of September between 2 teams with a better record. Boston coming in, they're now 97-45. They're 97-44. The Astros came into this series in first place, and those 2 records combined, the best ever. The Astros and an opponent in the month of September. And just misses inside. It's 2-2. Alex Cora looking on. He saw a dominant left-hander in that first inning, plus first batter of the second. The Astros second time around have really turned the tables on Rodriguez. Five hits of the last 10 batters. Three and two.
I think that's what's kind of hurting Eduardo Rodriguez here in the last couple innings. He's really lost that inside corner to right-handed hitters. That's what made him effective early on the first time through. George, Jose, and Alex, but not hitting that inside corner, and the Astros fighting off some of those pitches and getting some good swings on that inside fastball. Some 2-out lightning right here with Yuli on the move, shoot a gap.
Just looking around during that last let's go Astros chant, just looking around the lower bowl. I don't think this is an exaggeration. I think 1/4 to 1/3 of the fans at Fenway are Astros fans, somewhere in that range. It's unbelievable, because there's a lot of them I was watching down the right field side that aren't even wearing orange. Maybe they're sitting with their buddies who are wearing red and don't.
A little more camouflaged.
Yeah, and going along with the Let's Go Astros chant. It's remarkable how many Houston Astros fans are here at Fenway this weekend. White keeps sending foul balls over to that side of the crowd. Tyler keeps putting pitches on Rodriguez. Yuli keeps getting a little workout in him. He'll trot back to first. And his trot is very slow.
Yeah, that's not the aggressive one you're looking for.
All the way through the outfield bleachers too. Orange throughout the city of Boston this weekend.
I've seen him travel well throughout this entire season. Very similar to what we saw in Colorado, but to do it here in a place like Fenway is that much more impressive.
Alex Cora's patience is running thin. I'm not sure how much longer he wants to stay with Rodriguez as he just walked Tyler White.
Defense is getting a little bit flat behind him too.
We'll get another meeting at the mound. No, I'm with you. As much as we've seen Astros fans travel throughout the season, and last year, my first year with you guys, I've never seen it any better or any louder in a more impressive place than what's happened here at Fenway. Celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with the Astros next Friday through Sunday. Hispanic Heritage Weekend will be presented by Fiesta. Features street festivals, special pregame ceremonies, and more. For more information, visit astros.com/Hispanic Heritage. Meeting is over, and Rodriguez will face Jake Marisnik. I think at this point Rodriguez is on a batter-to-batter basis. Thrown 62 pitches, and we're only in the third inning.
You really get the feeling that Alex Cora is trying to fight to get Rodriguez through this third inning. His hand bullpen action long enough to have a guy loose and ready to come in.
Jake hit a sac fly on an 0-2 pitch his first time up, and now he fouls one back.
Got a good pitch to hit.
Astros last 11 batters, 7 have reached, 5 hits and a couple of walks. And of the outs, Jake with a sac fly, Springer with a deep fly ball that would have been out on most days without the wind. Altuve a line drive to center. Jake takes it upstairs.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. Quite a bit to that pull side, but not too bad going the other way for Jake Marisnik. And again, those are the last 100 baseballs that he's put in play. He's been swinging the bat well since being recalled a couple times and fighting through an injury.
Jake gets under one, pops it way up in the air on the infield. Kinsler puts it away for the final out of the inning.
Number 30 for Alex Bregman, making a statement on a big stage out here in Fenway in front of the Astro faithful. Bobsledding for your enjoyment. Astros leading 3-1.
3-1 Astros as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. Red Sox will have their top of the lineup due up with Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi, and JD Martinez. Betts has been a tough out in this series and really all season long, has that average at 340. Singled his first time up. And takes a called strike here. Mookie with 3 hits against the starter Garrett Cole last night, had 3 of the 5 hits against Cole. He and Benintendi started this game with base hits, and then Charlie Morton would settle in from there and retire 6 of the next 7 batters. Betts lines one into left field for another base hit. This one's off the wall, and Tony Kemp will try and get him at second, and Betts in safely with a head-first slide and a double.
It was a good job by Mookie Betts bringing the hands in. It looks like he's cutting that swing off, but he's actually not. He's just good at recognizing where that pitch is going to be and getting the barrel to it. Mookie Betts letting everybody know that he's in on that MVP race too.
5 for 6 in this series with a walk, and another leadoff base hit for Mookie. Here's Andrew Benintendi.
He's trying to fight off JD Martinez for that batting title.
They were neck and neck coming into this series. 5 for 6 will push him comfortably in front. JD has 1 hit in 4 at-bats. Benintendi, his base hit to left field his first time up, continues to go the other way in every single at bat. Charlie's fastball misses. It's 2-0. Charlie last pitched here at Fenway Park as the starter for Game 4 of the ALDS. That was the game the Astros would wrap things up. Charlie did not factor into the decision in 4 1/3 innings. Allowed 2 runs on 7 hits. Into center field, Jake is there, and Marisnick puts it away for the first out. So for just the second time in this series, JD Martinez will come to the plate with less than 2 runners on. Just 1 guy on here in scoring position for JD with 1 out. Hasn't exactly been ground chucked today. Of the 7 outs, 1 ground ball out, 1 strikeout, and 5 fly ball outs. It's been the trend in his career lately, as we have seen a lower percentage of ground ball outs than when he was with the Pirates. Still, he favors the ground ball out over the fly ball out. Shatters that bat. Carlos Correa makes the play, and JD retired for the 2nd out.
This week on Astros Bases Loaded, Justin Verlander reflects on his first year as an Astro. I get a chance to talk with A.J. Hinch about the state of the Astros after his contract extension. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded after the postgame show, only on AT&T Sportsnet.
Here's Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts with a base hit to right field his first time up. Red Sox had 3 hits in the first. Astros had 3 hits in the second. And the Astros would hit for the cycle in their first 4 hits today. Well, starts out Bogaerts with a strike. It's 0-1. Bogaerts with that RBI his first time up now has 17 runs batted in his last 18 games and 91 on the season. This is that breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Great snap on that. Good pitch by Charlie.
The overcast skies and the cool temperatures and these two teams kind of feels like it's the postseason.
It's October-ish.
It is. Found at the plate, just a piece to keep Bogaerts alive. Obviously, this is a series where both teams come in leading their divisions. Boston was leading New York by 9.5. It's now 8.5 with the Yankees win last night and the Red Sox loss. The Astros stayed at 3.5 games ahead. But it's also a time too for the Astros to remind the Red Sox that, hey, you guys might end up with 110 wins or right around there, but we're here too. Alex Bregman was as excited, you would think, for this series as any he's played in a long time, the regular season. Charlie doesn't get a chase there. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Every day is an important opportunity, but these series in September against championship caliber teams in their ballpark carry a little bit extra weight.
Opening double by Mookie Betts. Benintendi flied out. Martinez grounded out. Now ground ball through the hole in the left field for a hit. But Betts will be held. Kemp's throw is a strong one. Maldonado has Bogaerts hung up. The throw to first. Safe at first base. Maldonado had to wait. Bogaerts was caught in between first and second. And Bogaerts, a little bit of discomfort after that head-first slide in the first.
And I'm okay. There was an opportunity to get an out at first base, but you have speed at third base. There were 2 outs. That's the only thing that kind of makes you wonder if they should have given a bigger shot at getting Bogaerts at first base. And to be honest, I was surprised they didn't send, no offense to Tony Kemp, I am surprised they didn't send Mookie Betts home. Test that arm with Tony Kemp.
Kemp came up and made a strong throw. All left fielders here have a relatively shallow throw by the time they get the base hit because they're starting a lot closer than they would normally with the monster. Here's Mitch Moreland.
It's tough sometimes with Maldonado getting that baseball, having Xander Bogaerts hung out to dry. Just because with 2 outs, you know he could end the inning by getting him at first base.
Bogaerts did a good job eluding the tag of Yuli Gurriel.
Good job by Charlie Morton backing up the throw to home plate, and then when Maldonado came out to make the play, he covered home plate.
1-1 the count. .7-mile-an-hour fastball. It's a little hotter than Charlie normally sees with that velocity.
Yeah, that surprised Mitch.
Betts and Bogaerts with base hits in this inning. They are combined 4 for 4 today. The rest of the Red Sox have combined for 1 hit. He got him. Charlie broke open the changer, broke open the curveball, and picked up a strikeout of Mitch Moreland to end the inning.
Player does more as we look back to the first ever series that George Springer played at Fenway Park. It was back in 2016. He had to wait a couple years. He had injuries in 2014, 2015. But what do you do when you get your first chance to play at Fenway? You hit a couple bombs over the Green Monster. You just took a look at him. He had a great first series here, and he had to wait a couple seasons, like I said, but finally had the opportunity to play. He had a lot of family here as he is from New Britain, Connecticut. It takes about 2 hours to get there from here, so this is his home ballpark. A dream for him to play here. Obviously a dream now to be in the majors and to play in some huge games right here in this ballpark. But To clear the monster, no big deal, right, guys? It's a good way to open your time at Fenway Park, and this is a good place to sit. I happened to just miss Alex Bregman's home run over here. I came a little bit later, but the fans, the Astros fans, are enjoying the view, as you can tell. I found a few of them while I was up here.
Yeah, you got a couple of friends up there, huh?
I made sure to go to the friendly places for me. I found the Astros fans.
Well, Bregman easily would have cleared the whole monster had it not been for the National Car Rental sign.
Just a sign in the way, right?
But George is up third, so if you hang out, you never know, Julia.
I may just stay here the rest of the game.
The rest of the game?
Why not?
Nice.
I should mention A.J. Hinch had a big home run here as well. He told us that story last year. His first home run here at Fenway cleared the monster as well.
A big home run just in the sense that he actually hit one?
I'm out. I think it was a big one because he said it landed on the street.
Wow.
But you know how the stories go here at Fenway.
Yeah, we also heard he stole a base too, but we're not too sure that actually happened.
The stories
You
are-
guys won't bite. AJ is going to wear me out about this, and I've
You're
got
on your
no
own.
help.
You were on an island. But that goes for a lot of stories here at Fenway Park, as this place has been open since 1912.
Julia, get ready, Julia. Get ready. Just to the right of Julia Morales, Martin Maldonado hits one into the green monster seats. And the Astros lead 4-1. How close was that, Julia?
It's pretty close.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me with that?
Just one section over.
Just one section away.
We didn't even pre-produce that. Thank you, Martin Maldonado.
His aim was a little off.
You can't hit it right at Julia. That'd be too good to be true.
Now she might have to stay there the rest of the game.
Now Martin Maldonado has an AJ Hinch story.
How about that? Martin picks up his 4th home run as an Astro, his 9th on the season. Alex Cora is staying with Eduardo Rodriguez, and now he'll face Tony Kemp.
I can't believe that just happened.
If Kemp hits one up there.
Oh my. I'm going to go buy some lottery tickets.
That was literally one section over, almost the exact same height. Well, that's towards left. Kemp making a bid for a base hit, but Xander Bogaerts retires him on a nice backhand play.
Great swing. Off speed, down and away. Maldonado went down and got it. Yanked it over that green monster out there on the left. That was beautiful. And there is Julia Morales. Just one section over. Pretty good poke by Martin Maldonado. How nervous were you, Julia?
I didn't bring a glove up here. I was halfway kidding about catching some home run balls, but
Well, here's George.
I know.
It's a pretty cool view of a home run, though, huh?
It's awesome.
Hey, did you let that guy in front of you borrow your jersey?
My Earl Campbell friend down
Yeah.
here? Earl's ready to run through a wall for me.
George could hit one up there.
Oh, man.
When the ball left the bat, did it look like it was coming at you?
It did. I knew it was a little bit further over, but I knew that was coming our direction.
2-0, good hitters count. George hit one very hard to right field his last time up. Would have been a home run in most places, but the wind really knocked it down. Couple of solo home runs the last 2 innings, adding to this lead for the Astros. Bregman hits his 30th in the 3rd. Martin Maldonado gets his 9th in the 4th. And bullpen still busy for Alex Cora for now, sticking with his lefty Eduardo Rodriguez, who had been great leading up to this start, but today has struggled, and that will be the last batter he faces. Alex Cora out of the dugout, Rodriguez will be out of the game as the Astros lead 4-1 in the fourth. We'll be back with more after this.
Home runs here at Fenway and home runs over or towards the Green Monster. Jose Altuve hit a big one back in 2014. The Astros crushed the Red Sox that day. It's been years. That was at the beginning for the Astros in the American League, as a lot of these guys were heading to all these parks for the very first time. Altuve, the year before, had gone underneath the Green Monster and signed it, and he was taking it all in a couple of years into his big league career. But very special for a lot of these guys with a lot of history. Including this guy. You never know what's going to happen out here at the Monster, guys.
No, you don't. You got a new friend out there.
At least he's an Astros fan.
There you go.
I told you, I found the most friendly spot I could here.
And the longer you stay there, the friendlier they become. We have a new pitcher facing Jose Altuve. Brandon Workman takes over. Altuve greets him with a line drive base hit into left center field. Springer will go first to third. Altuve a big turn. He'll hold up. Astros with runners on first and third with one out. Stay out there, Julia.
Hagen's slider from Workman gets raked just over the shortstop's head. Good swing by Jose Altuve. Bats coming alive here against Red Sox pitching.
That'll bring up Alex Bregman. Two runners on and one out. Bregman hitting his 30th home run of the season his last time up.
Okay.
Has now driven in 97 runs. And he bats here with Springer on third and Altuve on first and one out.
It was actually a cut fastball from Workman that Altuve hit. Brandon Workman has a fastball, curveball, and the cutter.
Alex lined out to Ian Kinsler his first time up, with Kinsler playing on the third base side of second. This time they play more conventionally with the possibility of a double play. Upstairs, it's 1-0.
Some comparisons between JD Martinez and Alex Bregman again since June 25th, with the major league rank next to it. That's Alex getting busy with the batting average, slugging percentage, and the OPS. Man, more home runs, 19-16.
Foul at the plate. It's 1-1. Alex Cora going to his bullpen in the 4th inning. Eduardo Rodriguez, his last 2 starts against the Astros, getting knocked out in the 2nd inning and now the 4th inning. Guy who had gone 24 2/3 innings with allowing just 1 run in his last 4 starts, going back to before his injury. Two and 1. Three and 1. Ball in the dirt, and now Alex can kind of lock in. Celebration. 4-man bobsled.
Bobsled stare.
Alex was the driver. Kemp, Marisnik, and the brakeman was Martin Maldonado.
The caboose, what'd you say?
The brakeman.
Oh, brakeman, sorry.
Took a strike.
That was a curveball. Respect, 3-1. The off speed, didn't want to challenge him. Breaking ball up.
There goes Altuve, pitches inside. It may have clipped Bregman. Either way, he's on base. Astros will have the bases loaded for Yuli Gurriel.
Hitting 4th in this evening game for the Houston Astros. Got himself in a big spot right here.
Missed him. Just ball 4.
Amazingly enough.
Yuli 1 for 2 with a base hit his last time up. Hit the ball hard last night. Likes hitting against the Red Sox. Takes a pitch off the edge, 1-0. Great numbers throughout his career with the bases loaded. Into right field, and it's caught. Mookie Betts makes the play for the out. Springer tags and scores easily. A little trouble with that ball, possibly getting into the lights. It's a sac fly by Yuli, and the Astros add to their lead. It's now 5-1.
Good AB by Yuli, well struck. Almost ended up being disastrous for the Red Sox, but Mookie Betts does a good job staying on this. That's a cut fastball away. Yuli stays on it and rifles it out there. And I think you're right. It found one of those light standards out there and forced Mookie into panic mode a little bit, but he makes the play. Ends up being a sac fly for Yuli.
And here's Carlos Correa. Correa 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored.
Wouldn't it be nice if he made a statement right here?
Sharply hit, but at the shortstop Bogarts for the final out of the inning. Astros add 2 more and lead it 5-1.
Benz, September 8, 1993. Darryl Kyle throws a complete game and does not give up a hit. Brilliant right arm of Darryl Kyle wearing that number 57. Fastball, curveball, the best curveballs I have ever seen and a lot of other players in the major leagues have ever seen. Snapping that one off in front of the Astros faithful back in the Astrodome. Happy anniversary of that no-hitter for Darryl Kyle.
Years ago today, Darryl Kyle with that no-no against the Mets. Charlie Morton starting this inning with a 5-1 lead. Facing Ian Kinsler. Run scored against Kyle that day. Astros obviously won the game as you saw this celebration afterwards. Oh, 2.
See that first pitch changeup? Martin Maldonado did a phenomenal job of knocking it down. Some wicked movement on that thing. 88 miles an hour.
On the ground, Correa off balance throw, and it's picked by Yuli, who stays on the bag. Yuli Gurriel saving Carlos Correa as he makes the play at first.
It was a rough AB. Charlie was throwing some nasty stuff to Ian Kinsler, trying to fight off that breaking ball in a very fluid motion with the catch and release from Carlos Correa, and then the pick on the other end by La Pina, and able to get back to the bag. That was beautifully done. Carlos gave him a point and said, hey, thanks for picking me up.
Here's Rafael Devers. Devers flied out to left his first time up. Astros with a 5-1 lead, scoring in each of the last 3 innings. Two and one. Charlie gave up a first inning run. 3 of the first 4 batters reached via single. Since then, he's only allowed 2 hits the rest of the way. Three and one. Devers hit a couple of big home runs for the Red Sox here at Fenway Park in the ALDS. Go-ahead home run in Game 3 for the lone win for the Red Sox. And he drills one high and deep, but foul. And the count's full. Devers also hit an inside the park home run in Game 4 in the final inning, but the Astros had a 2-run lead and ended up wrapping up that victory and taking the ALDS. This one is hit towards Correa, perfectly placed in the shift. 2 hops for out number 2. MLB at Bat is your #1 Astros app. Customize your experience with home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
How did that Red Sox fan get a ticket in the Astros section?
Not sure if the Fenway faithful have ever felt more of a visiting team's presence than this series. Been remarkable. Swinging a foul.
Not again.
David Rackley takes this one, and Maldonado quickly tries to help him out. Both catchers, the one at the plate and the one behind the dish, checking out the home plate umpire. Ooh.
Wow.
Ryan O'Nora left yesterday's game after being hit on the side of the head by a foul ball that deflected off the catcher Sandy Leon. And today Rackley takes one squarely in the mask on that foul ball off the bat of Christian Vasquez.
That was one of the more pure contact, right to the forehead, it looked like. I would imagine the concussion protocol is very similar to what the players go through, and some of the questioning they get seems to be all right. You can see him shaking or nodding his head saying, I'm all right.
Well, this is Brian O'Nora's crew. Paul Nart's here filling in as the crew chief. And now Rackley trying to convince his fellow umpires that everything's fine. But always some concern, especially when taking a foul ball directly like that.
It's good to see. Nice work. Get squared up like that, shake it off, call a ball game.
Yeah, it's a tough profession back there. Brian O'Nora had taken a pitch earlier this year off the mask and had some issues with that, and so we hope he gets back to a speedy recovery. We'll see him umpiring again soon, but he was out the rest of this series. Charlie with a little bit of delay after that foul ball, now misses with the next two. It's 2-1.
You know, you see things like that, and the one we saw back in Minute Maid Park that literally took the paint off the mask of Martin Maldonado, and now with all the concussion protocols and things like that, it just makes you wonder how far the game's evolved and what it was like back in the day when some of these guys were taking foul tips and nobody cared.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
With lesser equipment.
Now, yeah, no more balloon chest protector.
Oh, the pillow was awesome.
Martin knew right away. He tried to hold up Rackley as soon as he heard that contact. And Charlie misses again. It's 3-1. May have seen the score update from Oakland. The Rangers and the A's playing at the same time of this game. Both games in the 4th inning. And Texas leading Oakland 4-2. All 4 pitches outside of the zone after that little delay with the foul ball. Now Charlie walks the number 8 hitter, Christian Vasquez. Here's Jackie Bradley Jr. He flied out to center his first time up. There's a strike.
Good changeup, good movement again from Charlie. That's how he got ahead of Ian Kinsler with that first pitch changeup.
Doesn't throw a lot of them.
No, but a good change of pace off the 95 to 97 we've seen.
Center field, on comes Jake. He'll have to play it on a hop. Vasquez to second. Little flare base hit by Jackie Bradley Jr. and the Red Sox have 2 on with 2 outs.
The 2-out block is now in scoring position.
The guy who's done a lot of damage in this series coming to the plate, Mookie Betts. That's a single, a double in this game. 3 hits and a walk last game. Run on base 6 of 7 times in this series. Starts him off with a strike. Two and one. Inning started with a couple of ground outs to Correa. And the walk to Vasquez and the Jackie Bradley Jr. base hit, and now a 2-1 count to Mookie Betts. Three and one.
Not even close after that first pitch strike. Next 3 pitches well out of the zone.
Out off Maldonado. Now the count's full.
Goodness. Doesn't anybody care about Martin? Same thing. Wow. Kind of gives you a good idea of a little bit of difference in the hockey mask as opposed to the traditional mask. The traditional mask is a little more flat across the front. The purpose of that hockey mask is to kind of have that curved front so it kind of deflects that direct hit.
Ball 4, he walks him. Bases are loaded. 2 outs in the 4th.
Things got uncomfortable real quick, didn't they?
Bullpen starting to work for the first time today. Colin McHugh warming up for the Astros.
But even though there was a little bit of a delay after the foul off the face mask of home plate umpire David Rackley, we've seen situations where Charlie Morton has been like this. 4 amazing innings. And then that one inning, all of a sudden there's a hiccup. Some walks are involved, a broken bat hit, and we're in a serious traffic situation like he is right now. Now he has the stuff to get out of it, but this is a unique lineup that you're facing with runners on.
There is Colin McHugh. Saw him in the game last night. Well, big spot here in the 4th with the Astros up 4. Facing Andrew Benintendi, who is singled and flied out to center. It
feels like sometimes Charlie starts to feel for it. We talked about the timing between his lower half and top half. Sometimes get out of sync, and he loses that release point.
Popped up. Is it playable? Bregman gives it a look just beyond the fence. Screen fronting that crowd. About 5 rows beyond that, it's 2-1. Charlie at least picked up a strike there. It's now 2-1. In the air, well hit, left center field. Jake all the way back to the track. He reaches up and he makes the catch against the wall. Jake Marisnick crashes into the out-of-town scoreboard and saves 2 or possibly 3 runs.
Whole true moment. We're showing this for TK and everybody else that remembers 2015, where we've seen this before. A little more violent action going into that wall, but Jake Marisnick is very familiar with that left center field portion of the wall. But this is a huge moment. Bases loaded, ball tailing away from him. He turns into Colonel Jake Jessup. You need him on that wall.
What a huge play for Jake to save possibly a bases clearing extra base hit by Andrew Benintendi. We could have had a 1-run game. Instead, it's 5-1. Jake will bat second in this inning after Tyler White. What a play by Jake.
Yeah, we're going to revisit that again on StatCast. Jake moving 26.9 feet per second, covered 91 feet. And are you kidding me? 16% catch probability? 5-star.
We don't see those often. We really don't see those often, especially when it comes to playing the wall, because usually you don't get credit for running into a wall. But that was, wow, that was a great play by Jake. Covered 30 yards in a short amount of time. Jake playing the outfield for the second straight time. Didn't play the first 5 games coming back from the DL as a starter. AJ gets him in there defensively, but started the first game of this series and starting today.
turned into the Harlem Globetrotters.
On the ground, chopped towards deep short. Bogarts will bounce it over on one hop to get Tyler White for the first out. Well, it's good to see Jake get credited with a 5-star, because there's others this year that we thought were 5 stars that did not get the love that we expected.
I completely agree.
So 5-star play in a 5-star moment. The Astros up 4. And the Red Sox with the bases loaded. Here's a chopper towards short. Bogarts is going to have to hurry with Jake running, and he does, to get Jake by a stride for the second out.
The Astros World Champions commemorative brick program gives fans the option to customize a brick with a personal message that will line Champions Walkway at Minute Maid Park. For details and info, visit astros.com/bricks today.
A couple of groundouts this inning as Brandon Workman will now face Martin Maldonado. Maldonado hit one up into the green monster seats while Julie was up there last inning. He's also walked, and he takes this pitch for a strike. Maldonado now 4 home runs and 11 runs batted in since joining the Astros. This ball's hit hard to center field. That'll be a base hit. Maldonado on for the 3rd time today. Rips a single to center.
Another look at the home run. Just to the right of Julia Morales out there.
Oh, yeah. There is no home run anymore without a little bit of celebration.
Got to.
The camera is always found in the Astros dugout. Here's Tony Kemp. Kemp 1 for 2 today. Chops one towards short. Bogarts will flip to second. Kinsler covers for the force out. 1 hit, 1 man left on base. Halfway home, Astros leading 5-1. That is brought to you by Rooms to Go, where you get great style and quality, all at the lowest prices on every item, every day. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Astros lead 5-1 thanks to Jake Marisnick's defense, a couple of solo home runs, a couple of sac flies, and an RBI triple by Tyler White. Charlie will face 3, 4, and 5 J.D. Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, and Mitch Moreland, and starts off J.D. with a strike. Nice to see J.D. leading off an inning rather than batting with 2 runners or more on. Seems like it's happened the whole series. JD 370 his last 38 games. He has really made a push against his teammate Mookie Betts for the batting chase, but right now he's at 334. Mookie at 342. They both came in batting 335 to start the series. No, Red Sox has led the league in batting average since Wade Boggs won a batting crown in '88. Is that Maldonado taking that one again?
Yes.
He does. He barely reacts. He's like, yep, give me a baseball.
Again, his face mask is exploding. It's a good thing Tommy Callahan isn't here. He'd be chasing down those paint chips.
High pop-up on the infield. Altuve looking at Springer, and Altuve is going to pretend like he's going to catch it, but it's George who makes the play for out number 1.
We've got a pitching performance powered by Kubota. Charlie Morton. See the patch on the sleeve. That signifies that he was pitching in the postseason last year. And in clinching games, Charlie Morton, 13 1/3 innings, 2.06 ERA, and 15 strikeouts. They relied heavily on Charlie Morton in that right arm to the point where Alex Bregman kind of catapulted him into that CFM category. Final out of the World Series. Charlie Morton finishing it off for the first World Series championship for the Houston Astros and the state of Texas. He was an absolute beast in that postseason.
First guy ever to win 2 Game 7s. Missed on the first pitch to Xander Bogaerts. Julia, what do you remember, or what do you have on Charlie?
Well, I think Charlie's in the back of his mind really gearing up for being as strong as he possibly can in the postseason, knowing what he was able to do for this team last year, hoping he gets called on for the same opportunities this year. But coming into today's start, that right shoulder discomfort that landed him on the DL, wasn't really concerned about it, just looking at it more as just rest. He said those symptoms, nothing to ring any alarms. It was really just an opportunity for me to take a breath and let my arm rest for a second and feel strong down the stretch here. He was also really amped about pitching in Fenway Park. He said, I love playing here. I love pitching here, and wanted to get back. Knowing how good this team is playing right now, he wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, good to see him back out there as Bogaerts delivers a drive deep to left. This ball will be gone into the seats above the monster. Xander Bogaerts hits his 21st home run, ties his career high, and gives the Red Sox their second run of the game. It's now 5-2.
That's his 3rd hit on the afternoon. 2nd RBI in this game. Seeing the ball pretty well off Charlie. Ball tailing middle in, and Xander Bogaerts gets the barrel out and launches it out there over the green monster.
Now 7 for 14 in his career against Charlie Morton, with a couple of doubles and a couple of home runs. Here's Mitch Moreland taking one for a ball. Well, Charlie's at 86 pitches today, coming off the 10 days rest, as Julia mentioned. He wants to feel as strong as possible going into the postseason. I would imagine this is his last inning, and AJ would like to get him at least through 5. Give him a chance to pick up a W in this game with the Astros leading 5-2. Charlie's last 6 starts have all been under 100 pitches. And it counts 2-1 here on Moreland.
That was such a brief stint on the DL that he didn't even go out for a rehab assignment. No real need. Save those pitches for the big leagues for Charlie.
Moreland has flied out to right on a great catch by George Springer and also struck out. Charlie's had some great defensive work behind him. Springer saved him on that. Moreland potential hit in the first inning, and then Andrew Benintendi bidding to clear the bases when Jake robbed him in the 4th. Now it's 3-2. He got him. Charlie picks up his 3rd strikeout. He's gotten Moreland the last 2 times. And there's 2 away in the 5th.
That's some wiffle ball type stuff coming out of the right arm of Charlie Morton. My goodness. Ooh. At 94. Glad he's on our team.
Yes. Well, Moreland's wondering what he's supposed to do next, because he got him with the curveball last time and then got him with that running 2-seamer that time. Here's Ian Kinsler, a couple of groundouts. Amazing with that stuff that Charlie has only 3 strikeouts today. Give the Red Sox some credit for putting the ball in play for the most part against Charlie. One and 1 to count. Into center field, coming on Jake, still coming. He'll get there for the final out. Charlie gives up a solo home run, but gets through the rest of the inning. It's now a 5-2 game. Expecting an inferno is the first clue. Last line of defense, and stole his way. If you know today's Name That Astro, presented by Nissan, send it, your guess, to it at AT&T Sportsnet SW. Astros lead this game 5-2, and I think Charlie Morton's day is over. He's had all the starters come over and congratulate him. Garrett Cole gave a little pat on the back, rub down. And 5 strong innings. And how about this? Josh James, who has made 1 major league appearance as a starter, could be coming out of the bullpen for the first time.
Get the radar gun ready.
Like Fenway Park for your first relief outing. Astros will have George Springer to lead off against the new pitcher for the Red Sox, Bobby Poinier.
13th appearance, 13 1/3 innings pitched. He's got a pretty tough task ahead of him, facing Springer, Altuve, and Bregman.
Poinier misses to George.
Fastball averages right around 90 miles an hour. Changeup and a curveball. The slider mixed in there too.
They've got a similar situation in their bullpen as the Astros do, and Tony Sipp has been very good at times this year. He seems to be the lead candidate going into the postseason for a possible lefty in the bullpen. The Red Sox kind of looking for their lefty out of the bullpen. Towards the middle and into center field. George Springer, base hit. He's on for the 2nd consecutive time. George's 3rd hit in this series.
He's well off the outside corner. It's going to sting a little bit in the hands of George Springer off the end of the bat. But it's a good sting.
Here's Jose Altuve, takes the breaking ball for a strike. Altuve 1 for 3. Up to 149 hits on the season. Inside, and that got Altuve. He is hit by that pitch. Astros have 2 on.
Luckily a glancing blow, but we've seen some fastballs not exactly well located catching the jersey of Altuve.
Up 2 on, nobody out. Alex Bregman will bat. Bregman hit his 30th home run in the 3rd inning to the top of the green monster seats. Misses that changeup. It's 0-1. Alex with that season average up to 301. All his numbers just keep rising. OPS, batting average.
Is there a ceiling for Alex Bregman?
I'm telling you. Next thing you know, he'll be at 1,000 OPS if he keeps going like this. He's down in the count here to Pointer. 0-2.
Trying to get big right there and hit his 2nd home run of the game.
Alex kicked off a new celebration after its 30th home run. It was the bobsled celebration in the dugout. And in. 1-2. Well struck baseball here.
Yep. Another baseball sent to Crushville. 30th of the season for Alex. That's well choreographed right there.
disappointed that he did not have a celebration for home run number 29, but they made up for it on number 30.
Yes, they did.
.30 home runs, 97 runs batted in now. 98 runs scored.
It's incredible.
It really is.
Needs 2 more doubles, 3 more RBIs to get to that 30 home run, 50 double, 100 RBI season.
I remember thinking when we talked about him in the middle of the season about the possibility of getting to 30, and we're like, it's possible. Here he is at 30 with 3 weeks to go. And he easily got to 30.
Yeah.
With room to spare. This time Pointer gets him. Pulls the string on him there on the strikeout. And Bregman goes down for the first out.
That's the first pitch we've seen down in the zone. Everything elevated against Alex, and then like pulled the string on him right there to get the swing and miss. Don't see that too often.
Here's Yuli, one of the reasons AJ had Yuli in the lineup today in the 4 spot. Said he's been hitting lefties well, been hitting well overall. Well, he gets to face a lefty reliever here. Yuli 1 for 2 against the lefty starter Eduardo Rodriguez. And had a sacrifice fly his last AB against the reliever Brandon Workman. Now facing Pointer. This is the fastball. A's have tied their game against the Rangers. They're tied at 4 as they head to the 6th inning. Chris Davis hit a 2-run home run in the 1st inning in that game. He now has 41 home runs. Yuli down 0-2. Popped him up on the infield. Infield fly rule in play. Bogarts puts it away for the 2nd out.
Real opportunity for Carlos. 2 outs and a couple of guys on.
Carlos 1 for 3, double and a run scored his first time up. Springer on second. He had a base hit. Jose Altuve on first. He was grazed by a pitch. Astros up to 9 hits in this game. He had 10 hits last night, and all but one of them came in the last 3 innings. Today they've spread out the base hits throughout the game after being retired 1, 2, 3 in the 1st. Changeup's been effective in this inning. Got Bregman, and now he's ahead of Correa 0-2 with that pitch. off the end of the bat. Covering Pointer on the flip for Moreland, and that'll do it for the Astros. 2 men left on base. 5-2 game.
Ten 10,000 fans in attendance will receive a Carlos Correa replica orange jersey presented by HEB. For tickets and info, visit astros.com/promotions.
Bottom half of the 6th inning. And for his 2nd major league appearance and his 1st ever out of the bullpen, A.J. Hinch turns it over to Josh James.
And there you see the no decision he took on September 1st. First big league start for Josh James. Now he is out there to just bring the noise, basically. He has a live arm. We saw a couple of pitches up over 100 miles an hour in that start. I would imagine if this is a brief outing, he might ramp it up a little bit here on the big stage at Fenway.
If he was amped up for his first big league start, you've got to believe he is fired up in this scenario, facing the Red Sox. First pitch is at 98 and a called strike in the knees. Rafael Devers has flied to left and grounded out. A couple of outings out of the bullpen this year for Corpus Christi. 21 starts at the minor league level and 2 as a reliever. 99. Red Sox are saying, we don't know this kid very well.
You're getting a quick introduction.
Josh James, we told you the story during his first big league start. A 34th round pick. Didn't start pitching until late in his teen years. This one towards Correa on 2 hops. Out number 1. Did he just hit 101?
Yes.
He did?
Yes.
The fastest pitch thrown by a starting pitcher this year is 101.1, shared by 2 guys, Shohei Ohtani and Josh James. Here's Christian Vasquez. Obviously, he's not working as a starter today, so even if that was 101.2, that wouldn't break the record as a starter, but still impressive.
Yeah.
James, a 25-year-old, made his debut 1 week ago today. That was close to being a strike. That's a strike. You're wondering how a guy drafted in the 34th round can throw a baseball 100 miles an hour. Kind of a late bloomer. Great story. Josh James had to earn every step of the way to get promoted to the big league level. This ball's fouled. Julio give it a look in foul territory, makes the catch and goes crashing into the rail and the screen. His jersey's caught up in the screen. What a play by La Pina.
The dismount wasn't all that beautiful, but it's a catch.
George cracking up over that.
What can you do? Just go get the baseball and hope you stick the landing. But Vasquez got destroyed, and Yuli gave it a great effort. It's tough here at Fenway because those stands come in on you in a hurry. And then all of a sudden,
and he was part of the screen. Eased an 88-mile-an-hour pitch in there. Was that his first changeup? That was an 88-mile-an-hour changeup. Goes back to the same pitch at 89.
oh man. Guys are putting me to the test in the truck by showing this in super mode.
Plummer's done.
Yeah, I'm out.
"100 miles an hour, the 0-2 pitch is fouled back. It shows Jackie Bradley Jr. 2 changeups and then goes 100.
Somebody in the starting rotation has got to be upstairs blowing that up and printing it out.
I don't know what rabbit hole I got down last night, but I saw both Juan Centeno last year and Garrett Stubbs this year fly into the screen at Fresno making catches. Just, it's unbelievable. I don't know why I saw that just the day before Yuli did the same thing.
Now you're going to be looking that thing up for a while.
Well, Garrett Stubbs flying into the screen making a catch just like that. Centeno got hung up on his catch.
That reminded me of a fishing trip I had in Hawaii.
Big catch.
Huge.
Swing and a miss. Josh James gets the final out of the inning with a strikeout. Strong 1-2 inning for James in his big league debut as a reliever.
postseason. For more information, visit astros.com/postseason or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Tyler White will lead things off for us here at Fenway Park. Tyler having a really nice stretch, and recently told me that this is probably the most fun he's had in the big leagues, other than when he made that opening day roster in 2016 and had a phenomenal week, won the AL Player of the Week in his first week in the majors. And he said, you know, I was having such a good time. However, when things started to go bad for me, when I started to struggle a little bit, I was sitting down, and that was extremely humbling. But I needed that at that point in my career. It was a good chance for me to kind of step back and realize that I wasn't ready to be an everyday player. There were things I needed to work on. Very hard for him, but he said he took that. And the next couple of times he was sent up or excuse me, called up or sent back down, he took that with him. He said, you know, also the expectations that I set for myself and that others set for me were really high because I had such a great first week. So a huge learning experience. Here he is years later, still taking things from this first week in the majors. TK.
Yeah, who would have known that the trials and tribulations of a guy like Tyler White. It's great to see the success he's had this year. Tyler with a triple his first time up, got the Astros on the board, then scored the go-ahead run. White down to the count 1-2. He'll be followed by Jake Marisnick and Martin Maldonado. Showed you the video in between innings. It's on Fresno Grizzlies Twitter, their Twitter account, if anybody wants to see the Garrett Stubbs and Juan Centeno catches where they went into the screen. Yuli Gurriel did the same here in Boston on a nice play in the last inning. White goes down. Pointer has himself a strikeout. And that's the first out of the 7th inning. Now bring up Jake Marisnick. You know what I'm noticing right now? That A.J. Hinch has nobody up in the bullpen.
Yeah.
And Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi, and J.D. Martinez are due up next inning. So A.J. is saying, I am going to go with the young gun in a 3-run lead in the 7th inning facing Boston's best. How about that?
It's pretty impressive. And a little insight maybe into what AJ thinks about Josh James and his stuff. It looked great last inning, but it's going to be a little bit tougher test if he goes out there.
This ball into center. Coming on is Jackie Bradley Jr. to put it away. Jake is retired. Jake 0 for 3, but has a sac fly today. It is time to name that Astro, brought to you by Nissan, and here are today's clues. Expecting an inferno, last line of defense stole his way. Gary Pettis. Good luck to his son Dante, starting his first NFL or playing in his first NFL game tomorrow for the Niners. 5-time Gold Glove winner and 5 years with 40 or more steals. I think 2 or 3 guys had that Dante Pettis jersey on our theme flight.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see those guys represent and honor Dante Pettis on that NFL trip the Astros had. Spent a lot of time growing up watching Angels baseball, watching Gary Pettis track down fly balls in center field for the Angels.
He played too early. He needed StatCast during his era.
You ain't lying.
He could go get him. Here's Martin Maldonado. He's having himself quite a game. He's been on base all 3 times today. A walk, a home run, and a single. He's down to the count here 0-2. Martin has thrown out Andrew Benintendi in this series and has not allowed any stolen bases by the Red Sox in the first 2 games. Down in the count, or down on strikes in this inning as he goes down. Pointer picks up 3 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work and a 1-2-3-7. 7th inning stretch time here at Fenway Park with the
energy. Ted Williams, the splendid splinter. A lot of fun for Boston fans to watch hit. One of two players to win the Triple Crown twice. Batting average, home runs, and RBI.
Leads off here in the 7th inning of a 5-2 game, and A.J. Hinch sticking with his young right-hander Josh James, who starts him off with a strike. Mookie's been on base 3 more times tonight. He has been on base in 7 of 8 plate appearances in this series. Only Astros pitcher to retire bets was Roberto Osuna last night to lead off the 9th inning. Osuna got bets to fly out to center field, and AJ looking to see if Josh James can retire him here to start the 7th. That's a strike. 1-2.
Changeup at 90. Tell you what a spot right here for Josh James. Working that outside edge and then throwing a good changeup in there. It's not necessarily about the location, it's just the change of speed.
13 of 16 strikes for James.
Doubled up on it. Good pitch out of the zone, though.
Betts is by far the best hitter in baseball this year with 2 strikes. Over 300. Both of his hits tonight with 2 strikes. But he goes down swinging here. Josh James gets him for the first out on a strikeout.
Wow. A little bit of a wrinkle. That's that slider going away from Mookie Betts. All right, test number 1 down.
Wow. And he's out there throwing strikes. To me, that's the most impressive thing. No intimidation.
Looks under control.
He got 4 outs of the 4 batters he's faced so far, and now he starts Benintendi off with a strike.
A changeup for a strike.
You know, you wonder, with AJ showing enough confidence to have James pitch here to Betts, Benintendi, and JD, if this kid gets through this inning clean,
makes you wonder.
Yeah,
right?
it makes you wonder with 3 weeks to go until the postseason. Just saying, it's a big spot for a young man. That's upstairs. It's 1-2. Never has pitched as a reliever in the major leagues before today. Start against the Angels, he lasted 5 innings and gave up 3 runs. Maldonado, who's had a tough day behind the plate with foul tips, now takes one off his arm.
James overthrowing the changeup and yanked it.
Right bicep there.
Probably won't be doing any curls after the game. Let that thing swell up and then wear a schmedium. Really show that gun off.
On the ground towards Altuve. He charges and underhand flips to Yuli for out number 2. Not hit very hard, and that's why it was a little dangerous.
JD Martinez is making a bid for that Triple Crown in the American League. Last 6 Triple Crown winners. Miguel Cabrera, the most recent to do it. He won an MVP that year. Yaz, Frank Robinson, Mickey Mantle. There's both of Ted Williams. Big numbers.
2 outs, base is empty. James facing JD Martinez. And Julia, they share something in common.
This is one of the guys he was looking forward to facing. He's from Hollywood, Florida. JD, of course, from the Miami area. They actually use the same hitting coach. Josh James using the hitting coach in high school that JD used it earlier in his career. His name was Paul Casanova in that Miami area. Josh telling me, though, I wasn't as good as hitting as JD was.
How about this, Julia? Josh James comes in and gets Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi, and JD Martinez. A 1-2-3 inning for the 25-year-old from Hollywood.
Our Shiner Spotlight is on the Astros faithful that have showed up to Boston. Some of them at Fenway Park for the very first time. Some of them might be hitting up the Patriots and Texans game tomorrow. That would be in Foxborough. But all very excited to watch their Astros and all very happy to see their Astros with a lead here today. I will tell you, deep in the heart of Texas has broken out while I'm up here, which is much better than Sweet Caroline, if you ask me. But this group having a great time. It's actually pretty hard to find Red Sox fans up this high, guys. They're sick of them, I'll tell you that. But Boston fans are being nice about it.
I love you, Julia! We love you, Julia. Tyler Thornburg, the new pitcher here in the 8th inning, facing Tony Kemp. That's the first section we noticed when we started looking around at the crowd.
Yeah, that's a very large chunk of orange down that left field line.
And they're starting a Let's Go Astros chant to start this inning. It's a good group of them.
Yes, it is.
Gotta love the support of the Houston Astros here at Fenway Park. Julia right in the middle of everything as Tony Kemp sends one towards the middle. Bogarts. And no chance with Kemp's speed down the line. Tony an 0-2 pitch, and he ends up with a base hit. People heading into Boston's Fenway Park for this series. The Texas crew at Fenway.
Well, the OG back in 2015.
Plummer.
Yep. Got me walking here. It was good to meet Sam.
George Springer grounds one. Nice diving stop by Devers. His throw is wild at second. Tony Kemp heads to third. Springer into second base. Astros second and third. Nobody out in the 8th.
I think Tony would have beat that throw into second base. He was moving pretty good. It was a great stop by Devers. Not the greatest of throws. George hit it pretty good, but Devers laid out to his left. Looked like he may have overcommitted with that play at second base. Just yanked the throw.
I think he would have been safe. I think you're right.
I'm just hoping that they give George a base hit and an error with everybody moving the extra 90 feet.
That's what I'm looking on the board to see if they change the hit total, which they have. It's now an 11th hit for the Astros. Springer has been on base 3 straight times now with a walk and a couple of hits, and the infield draws in for Jose Altuve with second and third and nobody out. Altuve sends one in the air to left. Benintendi coming in on the ball. Kemp will tag and bluff as the throw comes in. Altuve flies out to left for the first out.
Right idea, just not deep enough. Benintendi's got a very good arm.
So it'll be up to Alex Bregman. Bregman 1 for 3, his 30th home run of the year. He's also drawn a walk. Bregman continues with his on-base consecutive streak on the road, which is now 47 games. He is 4 shy of tying the franchise record set by Jeff Bagwell in the 98 and 99 seasons.
Infield will be playing in. Interesting situation also. Runners at second and third. Alex Bregman, one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball right now, in first base open.
So maybe a pitch around.
Well, I think this is an interesting spot for Alex just because he's got such good strike zone command that he's not going to chase outside the zone. They're going to try and get him to chase and get himself out. But if they make a mistake up out over the zone, my goodness, could really benefit the Houston Astros. But I am kind of curious. They started breaking ball down and away.
Give him a fastball. That was interesting because Vasquez stood up as if he wanted to pitch way up in the zone.
Might have been a mistake.
And then Thornburg threw one right over the middle.
But again, Alex Bregman is not a guy who's going to panic, especially as good as he has been going. Whether it's 1 strike, 2 strikes.
He fouls this one away, and it is now down in the count 1 and 2.
They're coming right after him.
Yeah, a little surprising. Yuli's hit into 22 double plays on the year. He's on deck. And now, with this count 1 and 2, Vasquez and Thornburg having a little discussion. Noticing the same thing this inning that I noticed last inning.
What's that?
Nobody's warming up in the Astros bullpen.
I like it.
Josh James is going to keep going in this game, and William Cuevas is warming up in the Red Sox bullpen.
Big Flames James.
Bregman strikes out. A rare chase for Alex on his fastball up out of the zone.
Back-to-back strikeouts in the last 2 ABs for Alex.
Well, Thornburg picks up a big strikeout, and now the infield moves back with Yuli Gurriel hitting with 2 outs and 2 on. Yuli 1 for 3, a single. He's also driven in a run on a sacrifice fly. Popped up, shallow center. In fact, it's so shallow, the second baseman Kinsler makes the call on the catch. And the Astros strand second and third, nobody out, don't score a run.
Astros getting some numbers on the board via the home run. Alex Bregman with number 30 on the season, and then a quick trip down the bobsled track. Martin Maldonado, the machete, getting in on the action. Driving one deep to left. He's a stare down, but built for baseball means that you got to play some defense. And George Springer early on robbing Mitch Moreland of a base hit. And this was the big play right here by Colonel Jake Jessup along that wall. Bases loaded. Big third out on that catch. Astros getting it done on both sides of the baseball.
So we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Big opportunity missed by the Astros in the top half. Second and third, nobody out. Could have added to that lead. Instead, still a 3-run lead as Josh James comes back for his 3rd inning of work. Has been very impressive in his first ever major league relief appearance, retiring all 6 batters he has faced with a couple of strikeouts. And Xander Bogaerts grounds one foul. Bogaerts having quite a day against the Astros. Charlie Morton 3 for 3 with a home run. Josh Reddick has taken over for Tony Kemp in left field. Bogaerts driving in both runs of the game for the Red Sox and matching his career high with that 21st home run his last time up. James ahead 0-2. James has thrown 27 pitches and 20 of them have been strikes.
Yeah, he's definitely showing some fearlessness out there. But you get a good idea why, because we've seen some good heat with that fastball. It's been well located. We've also seen a couple of good changeups mixed in there. Slider to strike out Mookie Betts.
Swing and a miss. He gets Bogaerts. James has retired all 7 he has faced and picks up his 3rd strikeout. Watch the Astros your way by downloading the AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit attsportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions apply. Moreland takes a strike on the inside corner at the knees at 98 miles an hour. Change up at 90 miles an hour, and he's ahead 0-2.
Bugs Bunny changeup. And again, the location. Down the zone, kind of fading.
Went back to it and got a little capper foul. Well, before Josh James came into the game, Colin McHugh was warming up. But since James has come into the game, nobody has moved from that bullpen. Nobody's thrown a warm-up pitch. They're all huddled together underneath the overhang in the right field bullpen. This is James' games right now. And AJ has a lot of confidence in this young arm. .99-mile-an-hour fastball. When he faced the Angels, went 5 innings in that outing. Only a 3-run home run by Cole Calhoun, the lone run-scoring hit against him. That was on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. This ball down the right field line, and that's a fair ball towards the corner. First base runner allowed by James. Springer will dig it out of the corner. And that's a 1-out double.
We are going to reveal the results of our Chevy Strobe poll. Should the Cy Young Award have an innings requirement? Everybody's saying yes, and they want it right at 200 or more. 41% of you. So it is kind of a big deal. And I like the idea. Go out there and earn it by getting those max innings in, as many as you can. We know that Chris Sale has some dominant numbers, but has been on the DL, and his innings sitting at 146.
After that first base runner reach, a visit to the mound with Brent Strom. And the Astros will, in fact, get the first bullpen action going since James has been in the game. Obviously, the disappointment in not scoring those extra runs in the top half. You don't extend the lead to 7-2, and then when you get a runner on, all of a sudden the tying runs on deck as Ryan Presley begins to warm up.
No, I completely agree with you. Anytime you can tack on some more runs, especially that part of the lineup for the Houston Astros that did eventually get runners at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. That's a real opportunity missed by the Houston offense.
Infield was in for Altuve and Bregman. Altuve flied out to shallow left. Bregman struck out, and then Yuli Gurriel popped up to end the inning. Now James will face Ian Kinsler. Kinsler 0 for 3 today. There's a strike hit at 97. James has been very good at throwing strikes and also strikes on the edges of the strike zone. Not just hitting middle.
Yeah, the changeup that Moreland hit wasn't a terrible pitch. Maybe a little bit too close to the hitter, but it was down in the zone.
Below, it's 1-1.
But he's definitely been a little more aggressive with the changeup in this appearance.
Up, it's 2-1. Strike at the knees, 2-2. Thought it was down.
Kinsler was hoping it was down because 98 at the nape of the knees is tough to get to.
Strikeouts full.
See Maldonado sitting up. He wants that fastball in the upper portion of the zone. 98. Letter high is tough for a hitter to catch up to.
Well, pretty big pitch here for Josh James with the tying run on deck in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
How about Nancy holding her ground?
Line drive.
Good job of knocking that down. Ball was moving pretty quick.
Kinsler's been one of the hotter Red Sox lately, coming in batting .378 his last 10 games, but 0 for 3 today. A couple of foul balls here on 3-2 pitches, and James continues with the battle. Pitch number 8. He got him, froze him on the outside corner. James gets the strikeout for out number 2. Ian Kinsler not happy.
Tell you what, we've seen a lot worse pitches called off that outside corner this evening, but that was a filthy slider on the outside corner.
AJ.
Great job by James.
AJ going to get the ball from Josh James, and he will be greeted by some very impressed teammates after that outing. 2 2/3 innings, 1 hit. He'll leave with a runner on second and 2 outs. Park tour and check out areas like the broadcast booth, the press box, the dugout, scoreboard, and more. Visit astros.com/tours to book your tour today. What a moment it was for Josh James as his pitching coach Brent Strom over to congratulate him. First major league relief appearance, and what a setting it was.
That was incredible to watch. Great job by Josh James. I think that smile at the end of the conversation from Brent Strom was kind of that proud papa look.
Now AJ will turn it over to Ryan Presley here with 2 outs and a runner on second. Presley to face Rafael Devers. Devers 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs. He was the first batter to face James. James going through all 9 batters, retiring 8 of the 9, only a double by Mitch Moreland. Breaking ball misses, it's 2-0.
Presley pitched last night, made that 68th appearance on the season. Kind of an interesting night. Blew the save, but ended up getting his 2nd win on the season. He is a high strikeout guy, 5th among American League relievers.
There's a strike to the knees. It's 2-1. Presley in that outing walked his first batter as an Astro when he walked Mookie Betts on 4 pitches. Prior to that, he had struck out 22 with Houston without a walk. Trying to get Devers here to get through the 8th. And now it's 2-2.
Give you an idea of how well Josh James did. He struck out 4 hitters in this ball game, which is 1 more than Charlie Morton, the starter, did.
Four of his 8 outs were strikeouts. Called 3rd strike. He froze him with the breaking ball. The Astros are through 8. They strand a runner at 2nd. Houston leading 5-2.
Fenway making his first major league relief appearance, and he was bringing the fuel. Saw the pitches getting to triple digits, but we also saw some secondary pitches kind of mix in for Josh James, which was pretty impressive. Got a strikeout on a changeup. We saw a little bit of the slider getting the swing and miss from Mookie Betts, and then eventually getting the looking strikeout on Ian Kinsler. A phenomenal outing for the young man.
Carlos Correa leads off the 9th inning, facing Tyler Thornburg in the 2nd inning of work. Alex Cora has been able to get multiple innings today out of his relief corps. And Josh James, happy to see an inherited runner left on 2nd base as he and Ryan Presley exchange a greeting in the dugout. But that's as big a stage as you'll want for a kid in his first bullpen appearance. 3-run lead, Fenway Park, and then keeping him in that 7th inning to face Betts, Benintendi, and JD Martinez tells you what AJ thinks about Josh James. Carlos with a 2-2 count. He is 1 for 4 on the night with a double his first time up. Also scored a run. Line drive caught by Mitch Moreland. Carlos hit it hard, but at the Red Sox first baseman. Game summary is driven by the DeMontron Auto Group. Alex Bregman hitting his 30th home run of the year. Martin Maldonado also adding a home run, and he has been on base 3 times. Josh James, very impressive, retiring 8 of the 9 batters he faced. And the Red Sox Eduardo Rodriguez knocked out in the 4th inning by the Astros. Jake Marisnick also making an excellent defensive play. That was a game turner in this one as well. 5-1 game when Andrew Benintendi hit one to the wall in left center, and Jake made a great play up against the monster to end the 4th. Here's Tyler White. White part of that 2-run 2nd inning when the Astros gained the lead that they have never relinquished. White tripled and knocked in the game's first run for Houston and then scored on a sacrifice fly. Saw double barrel action for the Astros. As soon as will be on if the Astros fail to score in this inning. Three and one. Astros won last night's game 6-3. Osuna faced the top of the order in the 9th last night and picked up a 1-2-3 inning for the save. Inside almost hits White. That's ball 4. Well, Tyler White will be a 1-out base runner as he reaches for the 3rd time. A couple of walks and a triple tonight. That'll bring up Jake Marisnick. Marwin Gonzalez is going to come into the game. He's going to pinch run for Tyler White. So good to see Marwin back on the field. We haven't seen him since the first game of the Twin Series. Sign that he may be in a lineup shortly.
That would be a good thing. You don't want to mess with those obliques. It could lead to some long-term stints.
Jake grounds one to 3rd, and the Astros hit into a double play to end the 9th. So a 3-run lead, 5-2, as we head to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Let's go places. And by Arctic. Overbuilt. not overpriced. Bottom half of the ninth inning from Fenway Park. Astros trying to close out a 5-2 lead, and they will turn the ball over to Roberto Osuna.
There's Roberto. Picked up that 14th save last night. One clean inning. Did so in 10 pitches. 14 of 15 in save opportunities.
Faces the 8, 9, and 1 spots. Blake Swihart will pinch hit here for Christian Vasquez as the first batter Osuna will face. Swihart, then Jackie Bradley Jr., then Mookie Betts. And first pitch strike. Beyond third, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. Reddick over quickly to cut it off and keep Swihart at first.
Not a bad location. 82 miles an hour. Got Swihart out in front, but just perfectly dropped in shallow left field.
Now here's Jackie Bradley Jr. Pops one high in the air. Playable on the infield. Yuli Gurriel puts it away. Out number 1 in the ninth. Part of the order that Osuna faced last night, as Mookie Betts will be the next batter. Betts has been up 9 times in this series. He's been retired twice, once by Osuna last night and once by Josh James his last time up. Ball low. Charlie Morton pitched 5 innings, allowed a couple of runs tonight. Xander Bogaerts knocking in both runs for the Red Sox. Josh James very impressive in 2 2/3 innings, picking up 4 strikeouts, only allowing 1 hit, no walks. Ryan Presley the final out of the 8th inning, and now here's Osuna. Fastball strike.
Trying to get a little extra off that edge.
Three and one. Will bring the tying run to the plate with 1 out in the 9th. Betts on base 4 times again today. That's the 18th time this year. Both times in this series he has reached base 4 times.
impressive year that Mookie Betts is having. He has been wearing out those base paths.
Now Osuna will face Andrew Benintendi. Benintendi hit a line drive against Osuna last night, but he hit it right at Josh Reddick and left. Picks up a strike.
Infield defense playing Benintendi a little more straight up than they have in previous ABs.
Bounces away, and that'll advance the runners as the ball is up on the screen. To third goes Swihart, to second goes Betts.
There's a spray chart, and there you see Carlos and Jose Altuve kind of flipped. That is Carlos over there.
Base hit left field. One run will score. Betts to third. Andrew Benintendi just reaches out and serves a single to left. It's now a two-run game, 5-3. On the RBI by Benintendi, and J.D. Martinez is due up.
Well, and I think that's why, going back to what we were showing you as far as the shift was concerned, how they're starting to straighten up a little bit more, is because in this series, Benintendi's really done a good job of going the other way. And you're right, just kind of slapping that one the other way, not trying to do too much, but extending the inning and driving in a run.
Major League leader in RBIs will bat here. J.D. Martinez with first and third and one out. J.D. grounded to third against Osuna last night. First pitch swinging and fouls it back.
Both fan bases into this moment right here. Everybody on their feet here at Fenway.
Pretty healthy rips.
JD's good on those high pitches. He does a good job of getting those hands above the baseball and allowing him to give himself an opportunity to get to some of those pitches. But you're right, those are foul balls just off the barrel. Much like we talked about Carlos Correa on his double, JD does a good job of bringing the hands in nicely also.
JD has hit into 17 double plays on the season. Ground ball to short. Correa flips to Altuve. Game over. Double play to end it. The Astros win 5-3 and extend their winning streak to 7 games as they get the RBI leader in Major League Baseball to hit into a game-ending double play. How about that ball game, Blummer?
Got to use that defense back there, and I think that's one of the things that really separates the Astros and makes them a championship ball club. They've got great offense, great pitching, but they have the ability to make plays.